rum and water without sugar being called grog.
Phil Dunning was the keynote speaker at Crossroads of the American Revolution National Heritage Area's Fall Conference. He's a retired material culture researcher in archaeology with Parks Canada. With his presentation, Fill the Bowl Again, Taverns and Drinking Habits in Colonial and Federal America, Dunning shared the vital role of taverns in the 18th century and treated the audience to a taste of several period cocktails.
I am talking about early American taverns in the colonial and early federal periods in America. Drinking habits of the period, what people drank, what people ate, what taverns were for. People drank a lot more then than now. I think the technical term is mind-boggling. Now, we're going to have Madeira and we're going to have port, and we think of these as an aperitif, as a dessert wine, these little things that you sip. No. People slug this stuff down like you would not believe. I had a bottle of Madeira with dinner. It was so good I had a second bottle. This is one guy, 2 bottles of fortified wine. And that wasn't unusual. I think that most research shows that the average alcohol consumption in the 18th century was between 4 and 5 times the average today. I don't know how they functioned.
So today's workshop is all about tasting the trades. We provide a number of experts from all over. Today they're going to be tasting a little bit of the 18th century, hot toddies, punches, rums, Madeira wine. Then we've got a little beer, jewelry, and then of course you've got to end it with some sweets of the 18th century.
The conference was held at East Jersey Old Town in the Indian Queen Tavern, a fitting setting. Rich Wagner brews beer the way William Penn did back in 1685. He explained the benefits drinking beer provided at the time.
Beer had a great deal of nutritional value. So you even see diet recipes for a diet drink. And this wasn't to lose weight, this was to get enough calories. So by putting some malt in your drink and fermenting it, then you got a great deal of nutrient.
Wagner also commented on the ways that he and his fellow living history professionals tell their stories to the public.
The more senses that you can engage when you're trying to get something across, when you hear that guy banging that thing that he just took out of the forge, you never heard that sound before. I dropped one of these barrels on a stone floor. It took me back to 1685 because I had never heard that sound of a big empty barrel landing on a brick floor before. And all of those kinds of things is what really brings things to life and shows us that people had to eat and drink, they had to survive.
Deborah Peterson is a culinary historian who recreates the recipes of the past, allowing people to taste popular dishes of the colonial era. She shared some of the most popular sweet treats of the 18th century.
The Queen's cake, orange cake, lemon cake, white pear plum cake. So you'd have to get white plums to make that cake.
It was a style and shape that was pervasive across the entirety of the 18th century. All different classes wore them.
Taylor Shelby is a jewelry maker and founder of Dames a la Mode, a company that reproduces historical jewelry. Her jewelry represents the style and trends worn by our founding mothers and fathers.
Well, it's very important to keep the past alive, of course, and to remember where our forefathers came from, what sort of trials and tribulations they had. Everybody loves jewelry and has forever, basically. I think it's really wonderful to be able to see things that were prized by somebody who lived 300 years ago, who thought it was beautiful, and we can handle and hold those objects today and still appreciate their beauty.
So you've heard of the story of Paul Revere. Well, here's another you may want to hear.
Attendees were also treated to a puppet show all about the legendary Molly Pitcher, presented by DAR member Pat Safner.
Could a woman change victory into retreat? Can king's troops prevail with that kind of defeat? Could colonists rally? It had to be folly. The answer was there, a resolve just like Molly's.
In order for us to really understand our place in the world, we need to know where we came from. And so events like this that reenact history and bring the past to the present and show us how closely we connect to our past selves really help us to live a full life today.
Moments like this are a chance for us to meet people from other organizations. It's a chance to see what other sites are doing, not just from a learning standpoint, but from a way to bring other sites, whether small or large, together. We can meet other people, see what they're doing, connect, and maybe potentially do things together and promote together. Giving you an 18th century toast to the enjoyment and entertainment of the assembled company and to the success of East Jersey Old Town. Your health all.